frog friends. We have a fish joining us today for our Bible story. Because in the story I'm going to tell you, God is going to send a really big fish, kind of like this one. So I'm going to let him hang out while we tell our story. Okay. So there was a man named Jonah. And God told Jonah that he wanted him to go to a place called Nineveh. Can you say that? Nineveh. He wanted him to go there because the people in Nineveh were doing bad things. And God wanted Jonah to tell them to stop. But Jonah didn't want to go. So he didn't listen to God. And instead, Jonah got on a big ship and sailed away from Nineveh, the other way. While he was on the ship, a big storm started. And all the people on the ship said, "What are we going to do?" Jonah knew what to do. He knew that God had sent the storm, and that if they threw him off the ship, that the storm would stop. So he told them, "Throw me off the ship." So they did. They threw him off into the water. And the storm stopped. He was right. While he was in the water, there was a big fish, kind of like our fish friend. And that fish swallowed Jonah up. Now, while Jonah was in the fish, he was in there for 3 days, Jonah prayed and asked God to forgive him for not listening. He said, "I'm sorry for not going to Nineveh." And so finally, after 3 days, the fish spit Jonah out onto the beach. And God again said to Jonah, "Okay, now go to Nineveh and tell the people there to stop doing bad things." So God, Jonah, do you think Jonah obeyed this time? Do you think he listened? He did. This time he listened and he went to Nineveh and talked to the people there. And they listened to him, and they started doing the right things. And they asked God to forgive them for doing the wrong things. So, God wants us to know that we can also do the right things. But sometimes we may not. And when we don't, God wants us to remember that we can ask him to forgive us, and he will. So I thought we would sing our "This Little Light of Mine" song, since we already learned that, and our fish can sing along with us. All right, so if you guys get out your light, and we'll sing, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Won't let anyone it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let anyone it out, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine." All right, hold your light up real high. We'll sing, "Let it shine till Jesus comes, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine." So God wants you guys to remember to let your light shine. And when you have bad days and you do things that you're sorry about and that you wish you hadn't done, you can say you're sorry and God will forgive you. So I hope you'll remember that this week. Thank you for listening to our story about Jonah and the fish. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week.